Hello everyone, hope you guys are having basically XRP is at almost 73 cents, guys. There we go. Right, today we had the decision on the interest rates and whatnot, which we'll talk about today in the later portion of today's video, guys. But before we do, check this out. This is quite crazy. Now, guys, we're to the phone part of XRP in the XRP community. Now, this is quite interesting. Caught this on Reddit a couple hours ago, yesterday. Just for your information, by a lot. Right now, I don't know if this is real or not, guys. Right, he could just be joking around, but he stated the SEC will not appeal by the end of today. But that's not the fun part. I have it on high authority. There's going to be an orchestrated freeze on all exchanges cause they know BlackRock's application for an exchange traded fund ETF is about to be approved. The price will skyrocket. Right, the privileged few want to hold the most. Well, this is really weird because when they talk about BlackRock, guys, BlackRock has been awfully bullish about Bitcoin. Right, awfully bullish, guys. In one of these videos, we're going to explain in further detail, because if we did today, it's going to be a long video. But they're literally so bullish. But there may be a trap being laid below us. Right, we may want to watch out for. I do believe we're going to pump though before people fall into that trap, so to speak. So interesting, guys. Let us be prepared. But this guy is an ex-banker for big banks in the United States of America. Listen to him when the wealth transfer will happen, guys. Wait a minute. So an ex-banker states this, but afterwards I'm going to come in as the devil's advocate. So pay attention to this, guys.
But here in July, there seems to be some indications that we could possibly hit the point of the wealth transfer beginning this month. I realize there's only 11 days left. That's not a lot of time, but at the movement that this is moving in terms of activity and what's being exposed, things could move very rapidly. What I do expect in terms of some of the historical assets and revaluation of currencies is that some of that will take place during the quiet time. In other words, when the EBS happens, there's going to be stay in your homes. There's going to be 10 days of communication blackout, or at least that's what we're hearing. And there could be during that time, even appointments being made and transactions being done very quietly in the background. This will be all with heavy NDAs. No one's supposed to talk about their transactions, talk about where they get their money or anything like this. It's going to take some time to work through that. I think between now and let's say into September, maybe late September, so the next 2 months plus, we could be seeing those things take place in the background. I think by the time we get into late September, it's going to be publicly in the face of everyone. Hey, there's a financial change occurring here. I hate putting dates to anything, and I want to just put a window out there. It is a 2023 thing, and this is all subject to change at any given day. So, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, well, don't freak out. It is unfolding. And it will happen. Some of the things that we've been seeing over the last week here is train derailments continuing. We've had 3 additional quite nasty ones.
So that's interesting. He stated 2023, right? The financial system should change, guys. It has. He said, not from my words. This is from an ex-banker, by the way. I don't even know if he's allowed to say these things if this is the case. So that's the first thing, right? That possibly financial change could occur this year, and there's supposed to be a wealth transfer, which I don't think so, guys. Right? We still haven't seen the collapse, right? And is he really supposed to be saying all these things, though? Right? Is he under any NDAs, so to speak? Well, probably not, because he is an ex-banker, but I don't know, guys, right? So we may want to pay attention, but who knows, right? If it happens, that'll be better for us, right? Now, maybe it can, right? We don't know, because breaking, Federal Reserve raises interest rates by 25 basis points, a 22-year high. There you guys go, right? It has surely begun. Another interest rate hike, guys, right? An increase of interest rates. But you know what's so funny about this is that Jerome Powell, your time has come, because your tactics are losing steam. Why? Even though they raised these interest rates, cryptocurrencies pumped, right? Isn't that something? Usually when they raise, it dumps, guys, right? Remember what we said before. If it dumps beforehand, it's probably going to be bullish afterwards. Look what happened. But can we sustain this is a real question. I do believe so, guys. I do believe we go up before the collapse occurs, right? So which is a good thing. And now next meeting they have to just pause it, right? How more can they really go higher and higher and higher, right? More banks will break if they wanted to, but we have the timeline, so it seems as, right? Maybe it's not going to be this year as this ex-banker supposedly stated, but maybe it will be by 2025, right? The collapse and all these things will occur. Why? Because Powell stated, quote, "Don't see inflation back at 2% until 2025," end quote. Wait, what? Market did not like this. He also saw inflation returning to 2% in 2022. But check this out. By 2025, I don't think we're going back to 2%. We're going back to deflation, guys, right? Because the collapse will be there. So he isn't lying, right? He isn't lying. Because I think that's when it's interesting. He didn't even say 2024, right? So weird. But he stated the year 2025. And remember, next time they're not going to raise the debt ceiling, right? And I think the deadline for that was June 2025 or something, right? In 2025, guys, which is, again, the timing of everything, I don't know. The only reason from Baba Cooks I wanted Moon was to purchase a new condo in Toronto. If interest rates continue to rise, housing continues to decline. I'm in no rush. You may proceed, right? Now, do you guys have any post-Moon strategies? Comment them down below. But I do believe when the collapse occurs, guys, right? Every market or majority of these markets, such as even the housing market, will collapse. Not collapse, but it will go down dramatically, right? That's when prices will be cheap to scoop up, right? Or houses will be cheaper to scoop up like never before, guys, right? So hopefully, I do believe the game plan is we do pump before all those events take place, right? And then you could de-risk by maybe a house or so, right? There's a lot of different strategies one can take to say at least. But back to this topic, there's something interesting happening. As I said, wave after July 27th. What's happening here? Now, Basel III, that Bretton Woods 3 likely referenced the FOMC meeting on Wednesday 26th July, where a stock market correction would very likely take place. That will lead into the next day on Thursday, July 27th, when the banks were required to be Basel III compliant, have their gold assets backed, or they will be shut down, all of which would result in shocks and adjustments in our markets and payment systems as currencies moved into real value and created a global financial crisis. Could this really take place right soon? Probably not. I don't think so. If you go down in the comments, someone did suggest that they're losing hope, right? This is why you don't want to put dates or a time frame on things, guys, right? I know for a fact when everything will accelerate is when we see the collapse, right? Or at least when all these cryptocurrencies rise in price like never before, right? Maybe Bitcoin to 80, 90K, right? 90K, I believe, will be the top of Bitcoin, right? In this bull run, that's when S hits the fan, guys, right? That's when the problem reaction solution takes place, I believe. So this is why you shouldn't have expectations, because if you do, then you're going to become a roller coaster, right? Interesting that Mr. Poole did post Basel III as well, though, at one point in time back in 2019, which is crazy because Fed to meet July 27th to discuss proposed bank capital rules, right? Interesting. The proposed rule would implement the so-called Basel III Endgame, which is an international agreement to establish new capital rules based on the riskiness of bank activities. And this is taking place tomorrow, it seems as. Interesting. Events are moving faster, it seems as, so that's a good thing, right? What's happening tomorrow as well is regulations markup. What? Key changes include these things right here. Fine-tune registration requirements, clarifies SEC and CFTC authority for payment stablecoins, right? Increase CFTC funding is supposedly taking place tomorrow. It's weird because July 13th SEC case ends. 7 days later is July 20th. Fed now begins. 7 days later is July 27th. Regulations markup occurs. Coordinated. As well as July 27th, tomorrow is Basel III. Fed to meet and propose some type of new rules or something, guys, right? Again, they love doing everything with numbers, guys, right? Christine Lagarde's favorite number is literally 7. Isn't that something? That's definitely not a coincidence. Fact check true. If you were to go into your bank account, digitally increase your balance, and then use that new balance to buy things, it would be called fraud. When the Federal Reserve does that, it is called monetary policy, right? So they have laws. Is that Elon Musk? Oh, I thought that was Elon Musk. So they could break laws and rules while we can't. Isn't that something, huh, guys? Rules for thee, but not for me, right? It's the craziest thing of our lives. Last but not least, for Manifest, on this day from Bob Cook's last year, you'll wake up to $1,000 XRP. Don't believe me? Good. Now, this was on 2/7/2022, right? 8/12. I don't know, guys. I'm pretty sure with Baba Cooks, right? I'm pretty sure that the timestamp or dates he tweets at is not on that timestamp or date, right? I don't know. I think it has to do with a different calendar or a different date of some sort, guys. But I don't know if XRP will get to those high prices, right? At least I don't think so before the collapse, right? Or at least before the new financial system even comes into place, guys. So, not financial advice. Let's honestly see what happens. I don't know. A lot of different narratives brewing, to say the least. Not financial advice. But anyways, that's all for you guys. Amazing. See ya.